Hey crystal lovers, Ashley Levy here with the Love and Light School of Crystal Therapy, and in this video I'm going to be talking all about crystal grids. What are they and how to create them step by step. So first let's talk about what on earth a crystal grid is. You may have seen tons of pictures of them all over Facebook and Instagram and people's websites, and they're really gaining in popularity. But a crystal grid has more to it than just looking really pretty. So a crystal grid involves taking crystals, placing them in a geometric arrangement for a specific purpose, and doing that with intention. So the three components are your crystals, your sacred geometry, and your intention. So when you're creating your own crystal grid, how do you do it? Well, the first step is to think about your purpose behind creating your grid. This is your specific intention, and I really recommend sitting down and taking some time to do this. Find a quiet space, meditate a little bit, and come up with an affirmation that really sums up what it is you're trying to call into your life. This is the most important step because having a clear intention is what helps get your message through to the universe and call in what you need most. The second step after you have your intention is to think about what kind of grid you want to create. So what kind of sacred geometry do you want to bring into this grid? Do you want something like the flower of life? Or are you looking for something a little less common, maybe like the Vesica Pisces? Or are you looking to bring in the golden ratio? Or Metatron's cube, or something a little less focused on specific geometry and a little bit more free-flowing, something like this. It's really up to you what kind of an arrangement you choose for your crystals. And although most traditional grids do follow sacred geometry principles, you can also create something that's a little bit more free-flowing, a little bit more like a mandala that just involves your intuition. So after you've chosen your intention or affirmation statement and chosen a sacred geometry shape or a more intuitive free flow form of your grid, the third step is to choose your crystals. You'll want to pick one stone that you put in the center that's your anchor stone or your central purpose stone. And this is what kind of sets the whole theme for your grid. Now, when in doubt, clear quartz always makes an excellent choice because of its ability to amplify the energy of your intention that you've set for your grid. Then you'll choose some supporting stones that kind of further define the purpose of your grid and what you're trying to accomplish. So you can choose as many of these as you like, but basically you'll put them at the points around your central stone in your grid. So if I was using something like this, a very non-traditional crystal grid base, and maybe I'd choose one like this if I were working on women's health or group cooperation, something that was really representative of the symbolism that I see in this grid base. So I would place my central stone, place my supporting crystals around that, kind of aligning up with the natural placements on my sacred geometry base or my intuitive kind of selection for these placements. And after you get those placed, you'll need to activate your grid. So we set the intention, we choose the grid base, we choose the stones, meaning both the anchor or central stone and the supporting stones, then we activate our crystal grid. And you can do this through your intention alone, but it's really helpful if you have a clear quartz point or selenite wand, something that is a little bit energy neutral, but has the ability to really amplify your intention. Then starting at the central stone, you basically make energetic connections or links from the central stone out to the supporting stone, to the next one, back to center, back out to your supporting stone, down to the next one, back to center, so that there are energetic connections or little lines of energy going between every one of your stones, making sure that they're all connected. The reason for this is a grid is more than just the sum of its parts. A grid is really about the cohesive energy of all of those crystals working together for your one purpose. That's why activation is so important. It also really helps you get centered and focused on what you're there to create with your crystal grid. Now, after you've activated your grid, your job's not done yet. You actually need to make time to connect with the energy of your grid each day and call forth that thing that you're trying to bring into your life. So put this on your altar, somewhere in your sacred space, somewhere you'll see this grid often, and take a few moments or a few minutes to sit and meditate on what it is that you're trying to call into your life. Actually create space for this thing to manifest. And the reason this is so important is it lets you see if there's anything that's kind of in your way, on your path to achieving this, so that you can kick that to the curb, get it out of your life, make space for this new thing to unfold. And the other reason this is so important is because over time, our wants and needs and desires change. So it's important to make time to spend with that grid regularly to make sure that that intention you've set is still relevant. I hope that helps you understand a little bit about the basics of creating crystal grids, why it's so important, and how you can do it in just a few easy steps each day. Until next time, I'm Ashley Lavey of the Love and Light School, and crystal blessings.